The Oklahoma House has approved a bill that would allow Oklahomans with a carry license to purchase guns without waiting on a background check from the FBI. If the bill becomes law, it would also need approval from the ATF. Representative David Hardin argues House Bill 1630 would help the OSBI attract more funding while encouraging Oklahomans to get a gun carry permit.
Does this bill attempt to incentivize more folks to get a permit?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, that would be my look and my intent on it. That people would look at this and think that if they didn't have to wait for the background check, if they had their permit, then they'll be more likely to spend the $100 or $200, whatever it takes now, to get their permit. Which, in my opinion, they're going to go through the training and the background checks versus constitutional carry. So yes, I think it's a good thing.
House Bill 1630 was approved by a vote of 78 to 18 and now heads on to the Senate. The deadline to move House and Senate bills out of committee was Thursday the 25th. Nearly 1,000 pieces of potential legislation are still under consideration. eCapitol News Director Shawn Ashley joined us to discuss some of the notable bills. Shawn, let's begin with the Senate Bill 821. Opponents are claiming it would make prescription drug costs skyrocket. What's their argument?
Yeah, what happens here in this bill is that the contracts between pharmacy benefit managers and pharmacies would be altered. There would be limits placed on what pharmacy benefit managers could require of pharmacists. And the concern is that would drive up costs because it would allow pharmacists to offer alternatives outside of the normal process that's utilized under those contracts.
A House committee has approved a bill which puts a cap on copays for insulin. So what does that mean for Oklahomans who have type 1 diabetes?
Well, the bill still has to go through the House floor and across the rotunda and be considered by the Senate. But there's been much interest in the legislature over the last several years at doing something to limit the cost of insulin in particular. A number of interim studies have tackled the issue. This bill would impose a $100 limit for a 30-day supply of insulin. And as I said, it's one of several bills that have been filed over the years, several this year, and this seems to be the one that's going to move forward.
Governor Stitt has been busy adding 3 people to his cabinet this week. Who are they and what would their roles be?
Yeah, it's rather interesting. The governor has sort of recreated his cabinet. He got rid of 2 positions that were vacant and created 2 new ones. And then we see someone leaving the administration and someone new coming in. Former Representative Susan Winchester is taking one of those new positions. She'll be Secretary of Licensing and Regulation, overseeing approximately 80 agencies that range from the Alarm Locksmith and Fire Sprinkler Industry Committee to the Board of Medical Licensure. We see Jennifer Grigsby taking the second new position, the Secretary of Economic Administration, overseeing agencies like the Oklahoma Tax Commission and the Auditor and Inspector's Office, as well as pension systems. And then finally, Scott Mueller will succeed Sean Copeland as Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development.
Let's talk a little bit about House Bill 1580, which proposes changes to a law that could impact dog owners and breeders. Tell us about that.
Yeah, really what this does is attempt to limit the tethering of dogs in particular, placing limits on that, such as the amount of time and even the size of the tether, and that it has to be specifically designed to tether an animal. It also places weight limits on the size of those tethers, and it limits confinement. With weather we had recently, for example, animals would not have been allowed to be left outdoors for an extended period of time.
As always, Shawn Ashley, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.